There is not a set definition that women need to live by, and they don't need to think any less of themselves because they're not what they see on TV, and they're not what their mom told them they should be. And I think religion plays a huge part in that too, because religion has all these constructs set up where women already are put into this role.
No, some women, I think there's a small percentage of women that are very sexually, I don't know the word, very much like a man, that sex is extremely important.
There's one person that tries to have the sex in any species. You watch animal shows or whatever, the males are always the ones that are, I guess you'd say, more horny.
I don't think that you can put a broad definition on what sexuality is. To many people, it's a lot of different things. And then you have to question, I guess, fetishes and how that plays into someone's sexuality and bedroom behavior, maybe. I don't know, is that a definition of what someone's sexuality is?
And I was brought up being, oh, sex is dirty or whatever. I don't know exactly, to be honest with you. I felt that that you don't discuss sex and, well, you don't go around having sex so much in your life. Sometimes it was 4 times a night, and then in the morning before he went to work, wanted again. Well, come on.
I thought getting married was like, oh, hey, it's every night, she's mine.
Oh, I got it, so I hated sex. I hated it with a passion. Believe me, I hated it. I dreaded it every time.
I think really men have a greater sex drive than women. I think that's the way we were created.
I'm a woman and I can feel a certain way, and I should be allowed to feel that way and be pleasured. And so right now, when you say the word sexuality, I immediately think of pleasure.
You could go on the internet and find that out real easily, that there's no possible way to define sexuality as a broad and umbrellaed topic.
That's why, the whole sexual thing, and, there's more people that aren't having sex than are having sex. I think sex is just a big fantasy in everybody's mind.
Boy, these days I don't know. Sexuality. How can I say that without being filthy about it? I don't know, at this time in my life, when I was younger, it was nothing like I think today. It was like, I don't want to say.
He must define sexuality
as a man?
Yeah, that's
it's between a man and a woman.
He thinks that sexuality is. A man is a man and a woman is a woman.
I think that there's a lot of people in the general population that don't understand sexuality, are afraid of sexuality, and are afraid of even talking about sex in general.
I still can't usually talk about sex openly. I get too embarrassed.
Sexuality is about knowing who you are and feeling very comfortable with yourself and in your body.
Sexuality. Pause.
Yeah, I don't want to answer this one. I'll pass.
My mom and dad talk about sex. I talk about sex with my mom and dad just because I don't want my boyfriend to, every time we have sex, go down on me. That doesn't mean I'm not sexual.
I don't see myself as a very sexual person, which really kind of disappoints me. I love the person I'm with, but I don't love myself, and so I don't think that I've really fully come into my own sexually yet, because it's only half of the picture is there.
I would say sexuality is a mixture of physical, emotional, and spiritual connection with somebody else.
Right away I think of sexual orientation.
But media glorifies homosexuality, and that's not a normal situation. Like we were told, it is a sickness, and it needs to be treated in that way.
I believe there's a lot more homosexuals in this world than anybody is willing to believe. It's just that certain people act upon what the what the makeup, what the genetic makeup of the person is.
How you express yourself for other people or another person. Well, that's what I mean. It's not sex and sexuality are two different things.
I know.
I don't know. I have a hard time expanding upon that.
Kitty.
That's kind of a hard question to answer, you know. But it's kind of, I don't know.
I guess sexuality means to me just what feels good.
Pleasure, no matter where that's found or how that's found and used.
I feel great about masturbation, especially in the act of doing it.
It's a gender. Because I'm thinking sexuality is like male and female, not intimacy.
Sexuality is, it could be something that you experience completely on your own or with someone.
Are there any differences between men and women? Are we more alike or less alike?
Between women to women?
No, men and women, between me and you. Are we a lot alike or very little alike?
We're different.
I love being with women, with girls, much more so than with men.
Girls like to do makeup. But like some kind of quiet.
You know, images of beautiful women, and that's what we're expected to be. And anytime you watch TV, that's what's being impressed upon you, is you have to look this certain way.
They need to be beautiful. They need to be skinny. They need to, you know, take care of the children.
I truly believe in the whole, you're born to be a mother, you're born to be a wife, you're born to take care of your family, whatnot.
Well, that obviously is pretty much what makes a woman, is the fact that she has reproductive organs, and if you take them away from her, then what do we call us? A mutation.
Why do women have to keep themselves exposed?
Way. And I think we're getting further and further to the point where women realize that, you know, they're not their gender.
Boys are sometimes violent.
He threatened me one time. I wanted to leave, and he threatened me with a gun, saying, if I can't have you, no one else will.
When I think of the word masculinity, all I can think of is a bunch of jock-offs that like to fucking eat steaks and fucking smash beer bottles on their face. And football. And since I don't like any of those things, I guess I'm not a very masculine person.
My genital relationship to my gender relationship, and that I have a penis, I have testicles, and I assign that to like some level of manhood.
Batman, Superman, and because they will always save me from darkness. And they always save me every day. Do you see me?
Normative masculinity makes me feel like shit because I don't feel like a wild pussy hunting machine, like sex machine motherfucker. But then on another end, I also feel like I use it to make my life more lazy to my benefit.
I survived and I reproduced.
I think he was sex crazy.
See, that's just it. With men, it defines your sexuality. Having sex.
Men used to think that way, and that's why I used to think that
That's
was
exact-
it was important to me that I had to do that, or else
Yeah,
I
the
was
more
nothing.
sex you got, the more of a man you were.
Yeah, it's nothing like that.
Masturbation.
Because sometimes I guess a man has an urge.
You know, I have a pretty good relationship where I really don't have the urge to masturbate very much. I think it's different for men than women.
How can a woman masturbate? What do you put? What the hell do you put?
I'm the first one who's willing to say, you know, jump under the faucet, figure it out, see how it is.
It would have to probably be maybe 6th or 7th grade. It's when I started seeing a lot of porno, stealing my friends' dad's porno magazines out of their basement.
I do have a hard time with pornography, I have to admit.
Pornography is the exploitation of women for for men's benefit, I guess.
The best way to do it if you want to get it done quick is have like some kind of image or picture. Or
That's why the porn's up on the computer.
sometimes, yeah.
I guess you're not supposed to get pleasure from yourself, but then, you know, does that mean that you get pleasure from, you just get pleasure from your husband, I guess?
I mean, it's a necessity. It's a silly thing. Everybody knows that.
It's something, it's like throwing out the trash. Sometimes you do it on an everyday basis.
Some people are just too shy and too shamed by whatever somebody's told them is bad or something.
Well, I know my religion doesn't believe in it. I just think it's disgusting.
There's nobody that can honestly say they don't do it.
I feel it's sinful to pleasure myself. I've never done it.
Whether or not you find it repulsive to touch yourself and have an orgasm, that you'd still be, I don't know, willing in some.
If they don't, they're missing out on something, I suppose. It's natural. Stress relieving.
The only differences are physical. I mean, women have just as much brain power as men, as far as I'm concerned. Physical ability is there too, but I guess it just depends on the person. Of course I like women. I don't know, they're a strange breed.
I don't need a man.
And chastity, I don't have a boyfriend, I don't get married, and I don't have children. That's the sacrifice that I make.
Literally every woman is different, and we're extremely unpredictable.
That's what creates a lot of the problems women have today, is all these constructions, because they're always trying to reach this point that they can't get to. It's like, you know, some picture somebody drew that they can't paint themselves, and, you know, that causes them to be depressed or sad or angry or whatever. And it's just ridiculous.